they are believers. After 12 weeks of this program, it took a while to finally start getting up to the numbers that we needed, but then they were running with that. And when the program stopped, they're still running with that. And they're pumped and they're excited about it. It's very encouraging. And this is beautiful, that they recognize the benefit of what they've learned when they're working with H2H. And they'll come to me and say, okay, this is the hour or 2 hours that I need this week to be uninterrupted. I need to be focused on making these outbound calls. And they're true to that. And I get reports on a daily basis, but I'll share with it on a weekly basis. Hey team, this is how we're doing. You should see the smiles on their faces. So I've been in the insurance industry for over 30 years. My background, I'm as a numbers guy and actuary. I was hired by the cooperators to be in their actuarial department. That was good, different levels of management. And then about 10 years ago, you could say I went to the dark side, or I saw the light, and I became an insurance and financial advisor. And when I started off 10 years ago, I had 2 staff, and now about 5, 6 staff, not including myself. And such an amazing team, and we're getting better every year. And we wanted the opportunity to see, hey, what can we do to even get better? What else could we do? If we were to fast forward to 2023, what are the challenges that were there? We're growing, and so one of the challenge was days go by and we're swamped, but tackling a lot of things that are urgent. What could we do to be more efficient with our time? The priority for me was we were being too reactive. Carve out time in our schedule and be true to that time. And so my team then, with follow-up with Dave and his team, would be then making outbound calls. So instead of waiting for clients to call in, we're making outbound calls to our target clients at that time. And this was amazing. I'm just going to share some numbers with you. So in March, after our 12-week session with Dave, 842 outbound calls, 78 client reviews, lots of life and wealth meetings were set up based on those client reviews, and we're having one of our best years ever. Making phone calls to clients that were a priority. And there's multiple benefits to that. And if you did 30, 35 client reviews in a month, that's successful. We did 78. And again, a team of 5. And so we were busy, but doing what's priority. With my team going into this program, I would say there was mixed emotions. They were excited about, hey, what can we do to be more strategic, more focused on priority, but how's that gonna happen? Our days are already swamped. Also had some team members that were saying, I think we're doing okay. I don't need to be told what else to do. And the way Dave and his team were able to approach that scenario, saying, hey, we're working together. What is the areas that would make you more successful for the agency, but also for you financially? And having those conversations with each team member, because the focus was a little bit different for each team member. And then coming up with, well, what would be the goal that you would say, hey, this is going to make me successful? What does that number look like on a monthly basis, on a weekly basis? And coming up with that through open discussion, non-threatening. I would say Dave and his team, it felt very much like Dave is coming in as part of the team, as a team player, and coming up with a priority list with each individual team member separately. And from that got really good buy-in. And Dave and his team on a weekly basis would be meeting with the team, talking about the goals. If they achieve, that's great. If not, what could we do a little bit better? And I'm just using outbound calls as an example, that you stay true to that time, right? That is your most priority. Make sure that you've shared that with the rest of the team. And when my team was able to do that and see the successes with making outbound calls and seeing the fruit of their labor translate to really good opportunities for each team member, they became believers. The whole process was great. Dave would provide me with weekly updates, strategies of what he's going to be tackling the following week. And he ran with it with the team. Dave even came into the office to help out with the calling blitzes. And it got the team pumped and excited. And they were so surprised at how well they did. They came into my office after these calling blitzes and said, you won't believe the numbers that we did. And they were very excited. And again, seeing the benefit from that. So we're now past the program and the team is meeting. They have their times allocated on a week. This is going to be my time to be making outbound calls, and our numbers haven't deteriorated. They are believers. After 12 weeks of this program, it took a while to finally start getting up to the numbers that we needed, but then they were running with that, and when the program stopped, they're still running with that. And they're pumped and they're excited about it. It's very encouraging. And this is beautiful, that they recognize the benefit of what they've learned when they're working with H2H, and they'll come to me and say, okay, this is the hour or 2 hours that I need this week to be uninterrupted. I need to be focused on making these outbound calls, and they're true to that. If I was an agency thinking about, should I pursue H2H or not? This is just my experience, but if you're looking at what can I do to improve efficiency, target priorities, and increase productivity, if you're wanting that as your focus, this has really helped my team and I to be able to get us to that level. The biggest win would be more efficient work processes. What I would say is for my team, it's improved efficiency, doing a better job on what's priority, and helping our clients to have that protective fence around them. We were doing that in the past, but now only so many hours in the day. The team is that much more efficient, and they're pumped, they're excited. They see the value of being able to allocate time aside, be true to that time that they're setting aside, and boy, they're just killing it. Because when they're making these outbound calls, they're landing clients, phone calls are freeing up a lot more time. You should see the smiles on their faces.